Hello, everybody, and welcome to SAP Chapter 2, Part 2. So in the last video, we finished off Part 1, and we stopped right here, what says stop here. So now we're going to be continuing on with Chapter 2, Part 2, and this is where we will be starting. So here is the explanation of what we're doing, and this is the new file path that we're going to be following. So in order to get to this part right here, the SAP image referencing, we can simply type in, once you've logged in to your SAP menu, we can type in SPRO into the search bar, hit enter, and it'll bring us to this part right here, the SAP reference image as we did before, or you can simply go ahead and follow this file path and it'll take you to this screen that you see here. But if you just simply type in SPRO, it's a shortcut. So that's what we did. And now we're going to hit the SAP reference image. And we're just going to follow the file path. So next is going to be financial accounting, global settings, document, tolerance groups. There it is. And then define tolerance groups for employees. So it's asking what the T code is. And in case we forgot, that's going to be additional information and display key and image activity. So now that we have this available, we can simply hover over this additional information, or we can expand it so we can see the whole thing. And remember that the T code is going to be the last four letters and numbers. So in this case, it's going to be OBA4. So now that we have the T code, let's continue. So we have to open this up. So you can either right click and hit edit activity, or you can just simply hit that clock. It takes you to the same spot. So in the change view, F tolerance groups for users overview, which is the screen that we're in, we're going to click new entries, which is right here. And now we're simply going to fill this in as is stated. So group, we're going to leave blank. So for company, here you're going to use your company code, and we are US 26. So there we go. We can find our company name, and you're going to put your company name here. And so amount per document, we're simply going to copy and paste this information over. Amount per document. And then amount per open item account right here, copy and paste. And then cash per line item discount is going to be 5. And now it looks like revenue is going to be 100, discount 10, cash discount, okay, also 10, and then 100 as well, 10 and 10. All right. So just double checking, group is empty, company code, again, your company code there, right, 5%. Revenue 100, 10 and 10, and again 100 for expense, and 10 and 10. All right, so now that we double check to make sure that's correct, we're going to go ahead and hit save. And we will get the save data, which we did right here. So I'll let you answer this question in right here. If you need more information, go ahead and read this section here and understand what you're doing here. All right, so now that we have saved this information, we're going to go back out to the main menu. go ahead and read this information read the section for more information. But now we are going to follow this navigation path here. So we're going to back up. And if we were to type in SPRO into this menu here, it'd bring us to this screen here. And we're going to hit reference image again, which is right here. So again, financial accounting, financial and global studies, financial, yep. And then document and define posting keys right here. All right, so T code is right there. And we're going to go ahead and enter this menu. So now in the maintain accounting configuration posting keys list, double click on the posting key field 01. So posting key 01 is right there. It's a double click. All right, so it brings us to the screen. Okay. Now we just have to answer these questions. What type of posting is it? Is it debit or credit? You can see here, this one is debit. What type of account? Account type is customer. And is this a sales related document? And as you can see, the check mark here is related to sales. All right, so we're going to go back. And now it's saying to go, yep, the right screen here. And then it's going to be 04. Yep, posting fields, double click, and then we can answer these questions here. Again, debit or credit, type of account, and that's it for that one. And now we're going to go back. And now again here, now we're going to go to 15, which is got to scroll down right here, incoming payments. Double click. And now debit or credit, we can see right here what type of account it is, right here. And then if this, is this a sales related document? If not, what is it? So right here, it doesn't show that it is a sales related document. It says that it's a payment transaction. So is that it? Yep. So that's all for that section there. All right. And now we're going to go back to this part here again. Type in SPRO to get to the screen here. To get to this part right here, the SAP reference image, of which we're going to click. And now we are going to create, I guess, another company code. Okay, right here. This explains what we're doing. Go ahead and give that a read if you want some information. Okay, so now we're going to go to financial accounting, accounts receivable, and accounts payable, business transactions, outgoing payments, automatic outgoing payments, payment method / bank selection for payment program. And now set up, look at this right here. Set up all company codes for payment transaction. Yep, that's it. So it's asking for the T code right there. So we're going to go ahead and click the little clock to enter into the change view company codes overview. So once we're in this screen, we're going to click new entries right here. And in the new entries details of added entries screen, we're going to enter the following information. So we're going to use our company code. And if you don't know your company code, you can just use this little lookup menu here. And then it says company names, simply scroll down to where you see yours. So we know that we are 26 and we are right here. So just go ahead, double click, and your company code will populate in the company code. So for sending company code, again, it's going to be our company code, and we are US26. If you know your company code, you can just put it in there. And paying company code, again, same thing. We are US26, which doesn't seem to populate. There we go. All right, so now that we got the company code, the sending company code, and the paying company code, we're gonna go ahead and hit save. And as we can see, we got the data was saved. I'll let you go ahead and answer this question. Why does SAP require this information? If you can look up here for the answer. All right, now that this step is completed, we are going to back up into this menu here that we'd get again if we typed in SPRO here. So I'm going to follow this file path. Logistics. Logistics general. Yep, here we go. Materials master. Basic settings. Maintain. Maintain company codes for materials management. All right, right here. If we need the company code or the T code, there it is. And we're simply going to go into this clock to edit information. So now that we're in the change view, materials management view of company codes overview, now we can enter the following information. So, okay, so we need to find, yeah, so we need to find our company code, which again, we are 26. So we are right here. So for CCD, it's going to be our company code 26. Just click on it to highlight it so I don't miss any information. So, all right. So now company name, yep, 26. And then we're going to put the current year, 2026. And for period, current month. It's currently the fourth month since it is April. And a BP needs to be selected. All right. So it's our company code, current year, current month, and selected. That seems to be it. So now we can just go ahead and click save. And we will see this information here that data was saved. I'll let you go ahead and answer this question here. And we're going to scroll down to this menu here, to the next step. You can read this section here for more information of what this step is for. And we're going to back up to this menu here again, type in SPRO to get this menu. And we're going to go to image, SAP reference image, financial accounting global settings, ledgers, ledger, define settings for ledgers and currency types. All right. So what is a transaction code for this? So let's see. So now we're going to go ahead and edit. we have this message here, which is a consistency check. Let's see, in the change view overview screen, highlight OL. Okay, here. If you receive a consistency check display message warnings, press enter and ignore. So we can either press enter or hit this little green check mark. It's the same thing. And since instructions say ignore, that's what we're going to do. All right, so now we're going to proceed. So now in the change view ledger overview screen, use a gray box to highlight OL. So here's a little gray box. We're going to click on it to highlight OL. Double click the company code settings for ledger folder. So that's going to be right here. Company codes for settings for ledger folder. I'm going to double click on that. And again, we have another consistency check, but it said to hit enter or simply hit this green check to proceed. So now that we're in this screen here, we're in the change view company code settings overview screen. Use a gray box to highlight the row containing your company code. So since we are US26, we're going to scroll down. And again, you would find your company code. We're US26, so we're going to highlight US26. Again, you're going to highlight whatever US number you are. And then we're going to double click accounting principles for ledgers and company code, which is this next folder here. And again, double click to get in it after you selected your company code. And here we are. So now it brings us to the change view for accounting principles for ledger and company code overview screen. So now it says click new entries, which is going to be right up here. And it's just telling us if we receive any consistency checks, which we did, and we just ignored them by hitting the green check mark or enter. So now that we are in the new entries overview of added entries, screen, enter the following information. So for accounting principle right here, we're going to choose the GAAP standard, the generally accepted accounting principles. So we're going to click this here. And so we have a few different options. We have IFRS/PI, GAAP, and ISA. So the International Accounting Standard, but we are looking for GAAP. So we're going to double click on GAAP, and then once we have done so, we can just simply hit save. Again, consistency check, we can just hit enter. And we can see that GAAP has now been selected and it says our data was saved. So it was in fact saved. All right. Now that that's complete, we're gonna move on to part 3. So in part 3, company configuration. Looks like we're going to define the controlling area, assign the company code to the controlling area, assign controlling area to ledger, set control indicators for controlling area, view document types and mapping variants for posting and controlling, and check and define default values for posting and controlling. All right, so define controlling area. So let's move back up. I'm just going to go to the main menu here. All right, so this is the main menu. And all right, so we're going to type in SPRO here, enter, brings us to this menu. Again, SAP reference image. And now we're simply going to follow the file path. So we got enterprise structure, definition, controlling, maintain controlling is what we are looking for. Maintain controlling area is what we're looking for. So T codes, again, additional information, display key, and image activity. And we can see our T code there. And we're simply going to enter in here. All right, so now that we've entered that, it says select activity. In the select activity pop-up, which is what we're in, we're gonna double click maintain controlling area, which is the second option here. So double click, maintain controlling area. And now it says that we should be in the change view, basic data overview. Details of added. Oh, here we are. Overview. Click new entries, which is going to be up here. And now in the new entries, details of added entries, we're going to enter this information. All right, so for controlling area, let's search or looks like we haven't made our controlling area yet, which is why we can't see it on this list here, which makes sense because that is what we're doing. We are making our controlling area. So the controlling area, we're going to name NA. And as you can see over here, we have #, or hashtag, which is where we enter our own number. And since we are 26, we're going to enter that in. And now we're going to copy that. And again, for name, it's going to be your number here and GBI North America. And now for CDC or COCDCO area, we're going to select cross company code cost accounting, which is just click on it and just click on it and this drop down menu will appear. Then we're going to select the cross company code cost accounting. And then for currency type, company code currency. So we're going to click in this little box and we're going to search for the company code. Oh, here we go. Company code currency. And we're just going to double click it to select it. All right. And see that 10 in there? That's because whenever we had this menu up, it says company code currency. Its little abbreviation is 10. So that is the correct one that we want. And now for currency, it's going to be United States dollar. Type in USD and right here, currency type United States dollar. We're just going to select that. And chart of accounts. Okay, chart of accounts. It's going to be our chart of accounts. So I can't remember what ours was, or what the abbreviation was, but we're simply going to hit that little search menu and search for it. All right. So we are 26, so it looks like our chart account is going to be GL26 or the long format 26 GBI COA for chart accounts. So we're just going to double click that for chart of accounts and physical year variant. Calendar year 1, we're going to hit that little search menu and it says calendar year 1 special period, which is going to be K1. So we're just going to double click that and we'll get K1 right here. All right. So now for currency type 60, if you just click on that, currency type 60, you can just click on that for this question 59. You can hit the little search and you can see what it does. Apparently it's global company currency. So that's your answer for 59. My currency type stayed as it was supposed to be, the company code currency. And just going to double check everything. Controlling area North America, 26 GBI. Correct. USD. Our chart of accounts and special period. All right, so now that that's all been inputted, we're just going to go ahead and click save. And now it says if you receive a pop-up document line displayed message, which is what we got, we're just going to hit enter or click this little green check mark. And we saw the data was saved, but it vanished. really fast. But our data was indeed saved. And a way you could check is, remember how last time we looked for our chart accounts and it wasn't there? If we simply go to this menu here, we just hit back one time, we can see that it indeed has been created. Because in this menu before we hit new entries and we created it, but since we can see our uh, not chart of accounts, our controlling area has been created. That's how we know that this step worked. All right, so continuing on to the next step, we're just going to simply back out. Exit. All right, so again, type in S-Pro here to get to this menu. And now we're going to assign company code to the controlling area. So we're going to start with the file path. So reference image, enterprise structure, assignment, controlling, and assign company code, top one, assign company code to controlling area. If we need the T code, there it is. And we're going to hit this little clock to edit. All right, so now we should be in the change view basic data overview, which we are. And it says use a gray box to highlight your row. So we're going to find our row. So we are 2-6. So we're just going to click this little gray box to highlight our row. And then once we have done that, we're going to double click assignments of company codes, which is right here. Double click. It's going to bring us to this menu. And it says, you will receive a message that says no entries were found that match the selection, which is down here, exactly what we got. But now in the change view assignments of company codes overview, which is where we're at, we're going to click new entries, which is right here. And now in the new entries overview of added entry screen, we're going to enter the following. So for the COCD, we're going to enter our global bike Inc., which we are US26 right here, your global bike Inc. And if you forgot what your company was, you can just hit that little search button as I did. And it turns out that we have your company should be the only option. So go ahead and select that. And once we have put our company here, we're gonna click save, and then it'll say, so if you receive a pop-up, document line display message, simply click enter. Data was saved, but it quickly vanished. But our company code is here. We can see that it's saved because it's in here now. So let's go back. Back to this menu here. Again, type in SPRO to get to this menu. And so SAP reference image. And now we're going to go follow this file path. So controlling, general controlling, organization, define ledger for company version, CO version, no T account information needed. Nope. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and edit then. And it says in the change view ledger from which CO reads actual data overview screen, click new entries, which is up here, new entries. Now it says in the new entries overview of added entries, enter the following information. So for company, we're going to put N8. And then since we see the #, we're going to put our company code, which we are 26. You would simply put whatever company you are. And now it says for version, we're going to select plan active. So we're just going to hit this little search here. And it looks like it's the only one that's available. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Yeah, so 0 is correct. And last but not least, for ledger, we're just going to click search and find leading. Oh, it's the only option that we have. So let's select that as well. And then once all that is inputted, once we put all the information in, we're going to hit save. And it says you'll receive a pop-up document lines message. Simply click enter. Data was saved right here, and this time it didn't disappear. Fantastic. And we can see the information is there because it stayed. So now we're going to set up the controlling, set control indicators for controlling area. So back up to this menu here. So SPRO will get you to this menu. And we are going to go into the reference image. Again, controlling, general controlling, organization, and maintain controlling, maintain controlling area. That's the right one. So the T code for it's right there. And we're going to hit the little clock to edit things. And now it says, once we open that in the select activity pop-up, double click the maintain controlling area, which it's the second option in this case. So we're going to double click. And now in the change view basic data overview screen, highlight NA, and we're going to highlight ours, our number. So we're 26. We're going to scroll down till we see it. There it is. Highlight 26. So you're just going to simply find your NA number. So once it's highlighted, double click activate component control indicators, which is this top one here. Double click. And in the change view, activate component / indicators overview screen, click new entries. All right, so now, yep, we're on this correct screen. We're gonna click new entries, and in the change, oh, where did that? So now we should be in the new entries, details of added entries screen, enter the following information. So fiscal year, current year, it's currently 2026. And then for order management right here, it says we have to select component active. So just click on it, the drop up will come down, component active, and commit management. Right here, the second one down, it also needs to be active. Click on it, drop up will appear. Oh, excuse me. Components active. So yeah, so current year, component active, and component active. Component active and components active. And that's all for this section. We're going to hit save. And yep, again, right here it says document lines display message. Just go ahead and enter or hit the green check mark. Data was saved. And we can tell it was saved because this has been saved in here. If not, we can just try and hit save again. Yeah, we saw the data was saved, but it vanished really fast. So if that happened to you as well, don't worry about it. Hit back. because we're done with this menu. So we're going to close that and we're going to go back to this part right here. And now we are going to view document types and mapping variants for posting in controlling areas. So let's follow this navigation path. So again, SPRO to get this menu, click SAP reference image, financial accounting, global settings. Oh, okay, here it is. Ledgers, integration of controlling with financial accounting, and define document types for postings in controlling area. All right, that's the correct one. No T code information asked, but okay, so define. All right, so let's go ahead and enter here. The little clock to get to this screen. So in the change view document types overview, yep, we're in the correct spot. Highlight the GL account document type. So it says GL account document type. Scroll down till we find it. I think this is it. GL account document. Highlight the entry with the SA by clicking on the SA and then click on the select block. All right, so let's try that. Clicking on the SA, and this is a select block right here. All right, sometimes I don't like using this select block because it selects more than one thing. You can easily just hit this little gray box to select it yourself, but it looks like this time I just selected that one. I'm just going to double check to make sure it didn't select anything else. All right. And now once we've hit select block or selected this little square, we're going to click details up here. And now it's asking us what account types are allowed in SA document type. So right here we can see account types allowed. These are all the account types that are allowed. And now it says exit, which is right here. Enter the transaction define document type mapping variants for CO. Oh, it's the next one down for business transaction. So we're going to enter the menu by clicking the little clock right here. All right, so it says in the change view, variants for mapping CO transaction. Okay, we are in the correct menu. We can double check by looking at this up here. Okay, so once we're here, highlight this standard. Okay, so it's already there. So we're just going to click the select block and it's going to select it, or you can just simply click the little check mark. It does the same thing. It selects the whole block for you. Um, okay, so that once we have this selected, we are going to double click on the mapping of CO uh, business transaction document types folder. Now we've entered into here. So what is a document type for the CO business transaction distribution primary cost? So document type. So I think it's looking for this one right here. Distribution, primary cost, unless it has, so document, actually, looks like all these are CO type documents anyway. But if this is what we're looking for, we got this here, or this is not asking for this. But either way, these are all CO document types. So that's going to be our answer. So once we've done that, we can move to the next step, and it's going to check and define default values for posting and controlling. So let's just simply back out to this menu here, where if we type in SPRO, we can get to this menu, and we're going to click on SAP reference image, and again, financial accounting global settings, ledgers, integration for controlling with financial accounting, check and define values for posting and controlling. Is this the correct one? Check and define. No, that's types. It's this one here. Check and define default values. Yes, for posting and controlling. Okay, so this is the one we need right here. It's not asking for T code, so we're just gonna go ahead and enter this menu. And in the change view, default values for posting and controlling overview. So we are in the correct screen. We're going to click on new entries, which is going to be right up here. So in the new entry overview of added entries, we're simply going to enter this information here. So for company code, let's look for our company code. And we are 26. So let's scroll down. So it's going to be, for us, we're going to be US 26 is our company code. So yeah, COCD is company code. Double click. So we got our company code in there. So valid from first day of current year. So I'm going to click on here, search first day of current year. Let's scroll up to January. Okay, here we go. So this over here is the number of weeks. So you can't click on this. What you're looking for is the first, the January 1st, which is going to be right here. So you can't click on the number of weeks. You can see there's 52 weeks. Technically 53 with this last one, but it's not complete. But yeah, so we're just going to select January 1st of our current year. So 1/1/2026. And for default ledger group, it says OL. It's the only thing we can select. All right. And for document type mapping, let's search standard. It's the only thing we can select here. So once all that is entered, we can simply click save, and we can see that our data was saved. All right, now we're moving forward to master data. In master data, we're going to define retained earnings account, define general ledger accounts, define a new GL account, define tax accounts, and maintain tax category in GL account. So starting off with define retained earnings account. Let's go back to, I'm just going to go to the main menu here. So this is our main menu. And we're going to type in SPRO to get to this menu here. And it's like image references, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, preparations, and define retained earning accounts right here. If we need a T code, simply go here, here. So additional information, display key, and image activity. And there we go. We can see our T code there. So we're going to enter here, hit the little clock to enter. So our chart of accounts, let's look for our chart of accounts. So if prompt, so enter your COA if prompted, which we are being prompted for our COA chart of accounts. So let's scroll down. And since we are 2.6 right here, we're going to double click that. So that is our chart of accounts. And after we do that, we're going to simply hit enter or that green check mark. So now it says in the configuration accounting maintenance account automatic posts account, which is the screen we're in, enter the following information. So for P&L, we're going to hit, let's go search. We got oh, we're creating. So we're going to type in RE. And for account, no value. So yeah, we're just going to copy and paste. All right, so now that we've entered this information here, since we are configuring, so we're not going to be able to search for this stuff because we're creating it now. So once we've entered that, it says click enter. So I hit enter, and then it says right here, account, not creating a chart account. And it just says click enter again. All right, and then after we've done that, we can simply hit save. And it says changes have been made, which is what we got. All right, so bam. Another step done. All right, let's back up. Now we're going to define ledger, define general ledger accounts. So let's back up to this menu here. And again, type in S Pro to get to this menu. And now we're going to go to SAP reference image, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, GL account creation and processing, and create GL accounts with reference. All right. Asking for a company code. There we got it. And we're just going to hit the little clock to make changes. All right. So in the create GL accounts with reference overview in the create GL, okay, which is where we're at. So we're going to enter the following information. All right, so we're just going to click here. Let's search for our company. So, and if you don't want to search for a company, you can, and you already know your company, you can just type it in. So we are US 26 because we're 26, and whatever number you are, you can simply enter it in. And so for company code, that's been selected. And for reference company code here, it says that we're all using US 00. So you can just select it here in the screen, or you can just type it in. All right. right? And then this will not automatically populate the company names until later. So that's probably why we don't see the names over here. And then we can just hit save. So in the information, just click enter or hit enter, the green check mark. So now in the create JL account with reference overview screen, highlight US. So we're going to highlight our number. So since we're 26, we're going to highlight it. You're going to highlight your respective company. And we're going to click details, which is down here. And now it says in the create GL account with reference accounts, click accounts from reference, which is up here. Yep, accounts from reference. All right, so we're going to click on that. And then in the using reference accounts table pop-up, enter the following information. I'm simply going to copy and paste this information so that from and to accounts, and we're going to hit enter, or we can just hit the green check mark to copy. And now it says in the create GL accounts with reference accounts, hit select all. Okay. Yeah, select all, which is down here. So let's scroll down to make sure everything was selected. Looks like everything was selected. So everything was selected. And now we're going to click create. Is it this one right here? Yep, create GL account. So this is going to be up top. So once everything's selected, just click create GL accounts. Loading. All right, so now in the GL accounts, in the company code display message pop-up, which is what we got, it says you should have zero error message, zero yellow, and no fewer than 172 green messages. So you don't necessarily have to scroll down. You can just check this part right here. The red would be your error messages, which we got zero. Warnings, we got zero, and we got 176 of the green messages, which is information, which we need at least no fewer than 172, which is perfect. If any of this is incorrect, speak to your professor because if something went wrong. We did it correct. If you have a problem, go ahead and speak to your professor. But since everything went right for us, we're going to click the green arrow or simply hit enter. And in the create gel account with reference accounts, we're going to click save right here. And then information. So data was saved. Perfect. All right. So that step is complete. You want to double check. No changes were carried out because we already saved the information. So now we can define our new GL account. So let's back up all the way to the main menu. All right, now that we are in the main menu, we're not going to be going into SAP reference image, so you have to go all the way to the main menu for this step. So now that we're in the main menu, let's follow this file path. So we're going to go to accounting, financial accounting, general ledgers, master records, GL accounts, and individual processing and centrally. All right. I'll let uh, I'll let you guys answer that question there. So we're gonna double click in centrally. So now that we have double clicked on that, it says in the edit GL account centrally screen, enter the following information. So for GL, I'm going to simply copy that. So for GL account, I'm going to highlight that. So it's 101, and then the pound sign or hashtag is where we enter our number. Since we are 26, we're going to enter our number. So 1001, and then your number. I'm 26, so enter 26. And then it says your global bike account. Our global bike account was already selected for us. But if yours isn't, you can just simply hit that side menu, the little search on the side, and then find your company code, or you can just type in US and your number in here. So after we've put in this information, we're going to hit create, which is going to be to the right here. So click and create. Okay. So create GL account centrally screen. So under type and description tab, which is what we're under, enter the following information. So for GL account, we're going to select balance sheet account. For account group, it's going to be liquid assets. So remember the pound sign means you have to enter your number. So for short text, we're 26. We're going to put 26. And petty cash accounts. And then for the GL long text right beneath it, we're going to enter in petty cash US and your number. Again, I'm 26, so that's why I'm entering 26. You would enter your respective numbers. So double checking to make sure we got everything. Balance sheet accounts, liquid assets. In our case, 26, this would be your number, petty cash, and petty cash US 26, which is our number, and you'd enter your number. All right, so that looks pretty good. So now following along, click on the control data tab, which is right next to it, and enter the following information. So currency account, USD, US dollars already selected, perfect. Balances in local currency only, checked. Oh, the next thing down, balances in local currency only, we have to make sure that's checked. And short key, let's scroll down all the way. Not short key, sort key right here. It says posting date. So hit that little search button on the side and posting date. It's going to be 001. So you can either type in 001 or do a little search and double click on posting date. There we go. 001 should pop up. And after that's complete, it says in the create/bank/interest tab, which is the next one over. It says field status group, your general balance sheet account. So we're just gonna click search. So it says your general. So as you can see, field status variant for our number here, we're 26, GL26. Your number should be populated up here. General balance sheet accounts. All right. So that's the number, or that's the letter that we should enter if you didn't do this. But if you're here, you're just going to double click on this. It's going to populate right in here. And then relevant to cash flow. Oh, right here. It needs to be checked. So go ahead, click that. And then once all that is done, we can hit save. And we should get the message data was saved. Data saved. Perfect. All right, now we can define our tax accounts. All right, so this is just the main menu here. If you click this, it just kind of closes everything up, makes it look nice and tidy, but we need to go to SAP reference image, so SPRO, little shortcut to get us there, and SAP reference images, financial accounting global settings, and tax on sales slash purchases, postings, and define tax accounts. All right, so we need the T code for that. Again, utility, additional information, display key, and image activity. If you have a problem where you try and click on this and it's not popping up, simply click off of it, click where it should, additional information should be, and it should pop up. And then you just follow the file path here again, and then click on image activity, and you'll be able to see your T code populate right here. So again, extend this or just hover over so you can see the full code, and the T code is going to be the last four. So in this case, OB40. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to click the little clock to go and make some changes. So in the change view posting key overview screen, select WM1. All right, let's find WM1, or excuse me, MW1. There it is. And now it says click select, which is right here. And just make sure when you hit select, it doesn't select other things, because sometimes whenever you hit select, it has a tendency to do so. In our case, looks like that's the only thing it's selected. And in case it did, just hit deselect and just hit the soapbox manually. It works better every time. Anyway, once we have selected MW1, we can double click rules, which is going to be right here. So double clicking rules. And now it should be in the change view rules overview screen. Click new entries. All right, so new entries is right up here. And now we're going to add our chart of accounts. So right here, chart of accounts, click, we can search. If you know your chart of accounts, perfect, type it in. If you don't, just hit that search button and find your number. In this case, we are GL26. So because we're GL26, we're simply going to click on that. And we're just going to double click. And it should populate here. And now once we've done that, we're going to click save. And we can see that you got that little check mark here, which means it was saved. And we can see it says data was saved. So once you click save, we can click back one time. And now it says select your chart of accounts. All right, so now we got to scroll down. And we can see it popped up here. We can click on it. So it says click the select key right here. So see how it selected more than one? That's sometimes why whenever you hit select, it's not ideal. So we're just going to click deselect all. Let's try it again. There we go. Or in order to avoid that, just click that little box here. Yeah, because it says click select, ensure your chart accounts is the only one highlighted. And you saw how it highlighted these three. So make sure it's only your account. Let's scroll up to make sure nothing else was, and back down. to make sure nothing else was highlighted. Nope, right now it's just our chart of accounts, GL26. Again, you're going to find your chart account, whatever number it may be, and select that. So once our chart of accounts has been selected, we're going to double click on accounts, which is right here. Double click accounts. And it seems like in the change view account overview screen, we're going to click new entries, enter the following information. So new entries is up here. Going to click on that. We're going to come here. So under the GL, it says your accrued tax output. So we're going to click on that and then just click this little magnifying glass to find our chart of accounts. So it brings us to this screen here. We're just going to hit search and it should have our GL number. We're just going to hit search and it's going to bring up everything. So we need our accrued tax slash output. Short description. Hold on. Let me go close that. Search again. Again, we're just gonna hit search and we're just gonna scroll out. So if you hit search on the GL account description and chart of accounts, it actually gives you this alphabetical list. So let me show you how to do that again. So click here, search, and so you start off with GL account number. Simply hit click on the next one because we click this. This is where we started. So if you just click the account description, hit search, and it'll give you an alphabetical order of the chart of accounts. And we can see that if we need our accrued tax output, it's simply going to be the one right up top. So that's a lot easier than scrolling down and trying to find it. And we can see GL26, which is our chart of accounts. So we're simply going to double click on this. So that's our output. And it's next step says hit save. And it says you'll receive a message that says changes have been made. Or said save information. And that says hit back 2 times. 1 and 2. In the change view overview screen. In the change view, this is rules. So we need to go one more time to posting. There we go. In the change view posting key overview, perfect. Screen, select VS1. So let's scroll right at the bottom. Oh, there it is. VS1. Then click select. Again, see, whenever you hit select, it selects more than one. So deselect. Let's try it again. VS1. Let's double check to make sure nothing else was selected. Let's go all the way up. And all the way down. I'm just following instructions, but if you just click that little box, you can avoid that. So once we've selected VS1, we're going to double click rules. And then in the change view rules overview, click new entries up top. And now it says add your chart of accounts. So let's look for our chart of accounts, hit that little search button on the side. And then scroll down to our chart of accounts, and we are GL26. So double click on that. Okay, where was I? Select your chart of accounts, then click select. Am I in the right? Hold on. Add your chart. Let's see. So we did the new entries. We added our chart of accounts, and the new entries overview added entries screen. Select your chart account by clicking select. All right, so we're going to click select. Let's deselect. Either way, keep selecting them all. I'm just going to hit that little bar right there. So I hit select, and now we're going to double click accounts. There's nothing else down here, so I don't think it really matters. But once ours is selected right here, I'm going to click accounts. So now in the change view accounts overview screen, click new entries into the following information. All right, so up top again for new entries. And now after we click new entries, we have to enter the following information. So for GL accounts general ledger data value. So we're just going to hit search here. I think I'm missing something. Hold on. Let me go back. I think I might have missed a step. Yeah, so we selected ours. Let me deselect all. Selected ours. It says in the change view accounts overview. So we're already in the accounts. Click new entries and enter the following information. Huh, something's off. It says the attribute should be GL account, general ledger, incurred occurred tax output. Do we select our code? Wait, hmm, I must have missed a step. I can't go back. Um, Let me let me try doing the step over since I can't go back. Let me close this. So let me try getting in here again. So I hit save and I did these two step here. So let me try that again. So financial accounting, global settings, tax on sales slash purchases, hosting, define tax accounts. But then over here it says go back to times in the change view posting. Okay, so we're here. In the change view postings overview, you select VS1. Click on it. Double click rules. In the change view overview screen, click new entries. Well, I wonder if it'll let us do it since we might have already done this. And then we're going to enter our chart of accounts, which we are GL26. And then once we enter our chart, add your chart accounts. In the new entries screen, select your chart of accounts and click select. Okay. So we click select, it's selected. Double click on accounts. Okay, again, double click on accounts. In the change view overview screen, click new entries. Oh, there we go. And enter the following information. All right, there we go. That worked. So now we can search. I don't know what step I missed here earlier, but definitely missed a step. So search, and then we're just gonna hit start search. And then make sure that you're in the GL account description and chart accounts when you hit the search, because it'll give you this alphabetical order list. And now we need a current tax input. So it's going to be the second one in the list. Double click on it and it'll populate the number here. So again, this number correlates with this number here, GL account. So incurred tax input, it's just simply that number there. And then once we have that in there, we're going to click save. And then we're going to receive a message that says data was saved. Perfect. Yeah, make sure to not miss a step and read through these instructions carefully, because you can easily miss a step just like I just did. All right, so now for this next part, it says maintain tax category in GL account. So we're going to go all the way back to the main menu. All right, and we're going to follow the file path. So accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, master records, GL accounts, individual processing, and I'll let you answer this question here and double click to enter. So now in the edit account centrally screen, enter the following information. So on GL accounts, your trading good consumption expense. Let's search for that. It says trading good. Trading good consumption expense. All right. So just scroll down. It's in alphabetical order. Find trading good consumption expense and make sure it's yours. I'm GL26, so that works out. Make sure that your number is here. Double click. And again, that number that you got is simply the number you can see over here on the side. I think it's the actual GL account. So for trading good consumption expense, it's simply this number here. So whenever you double click that, that's the number that's being populated here. And your Global Bike Inc., mine was already populated here. So again, I'm 26, find if yours isn't populating here, you can just go ahead and enter your number. So it's going to be US in your number, or you can hit search there. But so once we have this, we're going to go ahead and click change, which is this pencil right here. And now it says in the change GL account centrally screen, click the control data tab, which is the next one over right here. Control data tab. So in the control data tab, enter the following information. So for tax category, right here, let's go ahead and search. It says all tax types allowed. All tax types allowed. So it's going to give us this little star once we double click on all tax types allowed. And we can see that little star there. So once we've selected that, let's go ahead and hit save. And we can see data was saved. So, and then it's asking you what symbols represent only input taxes allowed. So you can simply hit here and say, what's it says, only input tax allowed, it'd be this one right here. In this case, a negative sign. All right, and now that the data was saved, we're done here. And now we are going to test to make sure that everything works. So we're going to view the balances, posting to GL accounts, posting period updates, testing tolerance, groups for GL account document posting, and view balances. The second part of that. All right, so let's go all the way down to view balances. So let's go all, I'm just going to open up a new GUI. So I'm just going to hit this. I'm going to hit new GUI. I'm just going to close out this old one. All right. So this will bring us back to the main menu instead of hitting back all those times. So now that we are here, let's view the balances. So let's go to, let's follow this file path, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, account, display, display balances. So I'll let you answer the transaction code for display balances. And let's go in there. All right, so display balances. So it says for our bank account number. So let's hit search on account number. Let's just hit search because I don't know our bank account number. So it should just be, oh, here we go. It's bank account. And this one is tied to us, GL26. So this is our bank account number. So we're going to double click on bank account. And now it says company code. My company code was already populated in there. I'm US26. Go ahead and enter yours. If you don't know it, again, just hit the side right here so you can search. And current year for fiscal year is currently 2026. And let me see. Yeah, it just wants those three inputs. One looking for company code. So, okay. To find your GL account. So mine was already highlighted when I looked for my information. My stuff was already populated here. But if you don't have this information here, go ahead and add your GL account. It'd make it a lot easier because if you don't have this, it's gonna look for through everybody's GL account, mine, yours, and the rest of your classmates. But if you have your number here, it's just gonna look specifically for your accounts. That's what this message here is saying. But once we have our bank account, our company code, and the current fiscal year, we can go ahead and hit execute. So no data found for fiscal year 2026. So if you see a pop-up that says no data found, you can assume that our account balance is zero. So since we found nothing, we can assume that our account balance is zero. So if it says what is our account balance, we're assuming that it's zero. All right, so that's the first time we checked our account. Let's go ahead and enter. All right, so now let's go to posting to GL accounts. So let's go back to the main menu, and I'm just gonna simply going to click this menu, the SAP menu. It's gonna close all the other menus, so it looks nice and tidy like this. And we are going to follow this file path so we can post to our GL accounts. So let's go to accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, and enter, what did I say? Enter GL account document. It looks like it's the first one for us. Yep. So we're going to double click to enter here. Oh, transaction code. I'll let you guys answer that one. So right here, it should be your company code at the top of the screen, which in our case, we are 26. So we have US 26, which it is. So verify that you have your company code up here. If your company code is not there, navigate to the SAP menu bar and the top, click edit, switch company code, and enter your company code. Shortcut F7. So if your company code doesn't appear there, go ahead and follow this information. Anyway, ours works. I hope yours works. If not, follow that. So in the edit GL account document company code, US and our company code screen, enter the following information. So document date is the current date. I'm just going to click this little search menu and the current date should be highlighted. So I'm just going to click on that. And it's going to populate our current date. So DC GL, oh no, I just jumped ahead. Oh, so right here, GL account is our bank account. So we're going to hit search. Let's see. So GL account description chart, yep, search. We already had our GL number in there, so this is all of our information. So it says our bank account. So we're gonna find bank account, make sure it's our bank account, double click on that. So that populated there. And this is gonna be a debit. So where here it says DNC, there's gonna be a debit. We're gonna be debiting our account, and we're gonna debit it for this amount. What is that? 60,000? Yeah, 60,000. All right. So the next line item, we need to find our common stock. We need to find the little search button. Again, search all and common stock. Here's our common stock, GL account. So that is our common stock. Double click on common stock. And this is going to be a credit. So we're going to hit credit here. And looks like it is the same amount. $60,000. Okay, and then once you have that information in there, we are going to hit post. And now we should get a document number down here. And it should be one followed by a bunch of zeros. Since this is the first time the first document's created, it should end in all zeros. If you've already done this before, you'll have different numbers. But it should just be one with a bunch of zeros. So yeah, document was posted with your company code, which it is my company code. So for 73, what is your document number? Go ahead and give them your document number. Run from chapter one document. Numbering message is at the bottom of your screen. If you did not receive a document that was posted, message above, instead you received an error, do not panic and refer to the next section for instructions on how to resolve this error. So if you did not get this and you got an error, as these instructions say right here, simply proceed to this next section here to resolve this issue. And then once you resolve this issue, go back and go through these steps starting here to complete this section, and then you should be able to proceed to this next section here. So now that we did not have that problem, we did have our transaction go through. Yep, we got that transaction to go through. All right. And now it says in the GL account document code, so same thing, same document that we're in here, enter the following. So again, current date, just click that little side thing, and we're just going to select today's date. It should already be selected. All right. In the GL, okay, so again, here we're going to put another transaction. We need to find our petty cash. And search, and start search. And we're going to scroll down to petty cash. Oh, okay. So I kind of see that other people have used this account as well. Or maybe it's something else, but we're going to use our petty cash. So we know that we are 26, so we're going to put petty cash US 26. That is us. So we're going to double click on that. This should be the petty cash account that we created earlier. So again, it should be petty cash with your number, not anybody else's. So we're petty cash 26. Yep, petty cash. This is a debit amount. And I don't know if you guys remember, but remember we created this. It should be 1001 and your number at the end. That's how we know it's ours. In this case, it seems like two other people accidentally created theirs using my or at least this account's number. And as you can see, they did this part correct, 1001, but then have 15 and 14 respectively, but they accidentally used this as their basis. So it should just be yours. And you can tell by this number here, 100126. So just double check to make sure that's correct. Anyway, this was debit, and looks like this time we're only adding $200. Only debiting $200. And now we need to look up for our bank account. Again, we're going to search, start search, and bank account. Again, just double check to make sure it's yours. We're GL26, so that is me. And this is going to populate here. And correct, this is going to be a credit. And again, it's going to be for $200. And once we're done, we're going to hit post. And we'll have a document number. So you receive a message that says document number. And as you can see, this is the second document. So the first document was in all zeros. And then the second one's going to have a 1 on it. You can simply post your document number on here so you can answer the quiz. So now that we've done that, now we can go to the next section, which is about posting period updates. So let's just go. I'm just going to open up a new GUI, close this one out. Because I was getting an error to hit back, so it's just easier for me to open up a new GUI. Anyway, so now we're going to follow this menu. We don't have to go to, we don't have to type in S Pro since it's the main menu. So we're from the main menu, we're going to go to logistics, materials management, materials master. Here it is down here. Other, let's scroll down. Other and close period. All right, so we're going to double click to open this. So in the close period for material master record, we are in the correct screen. Enter the following information. So from company code, so we are US26, find your respective company, to company, Again, we are US26. Find your respective company again. So from N2, and now it says for period, use current month. So it's currently the 4th month. And for fiscal year, it's 2026. So for period, yeah, use current month. It's month 4. We can't search, so we're just putting those numbers in. Then once we have input that information, we just hit execute down here. That says, if this step is successful, you'll be brought to a screen that says period closing complete log issue. Period closing complete log issue. So we did get that message here. So the first log here is probably the open period and closing complete. Yeah, so opening and closing the period. Yep, and then end. So we did get this message. Now that you have opened your current period for posting, refer to the beginning and the last section and complete posting to your GL accounts. While completing other chapters, you run into posting period errors. Please refer to this step to close previous period and open the current period. All right. So now that we have completed that, let's go back. Back. All right. So this is the easy access menu. I'm just going to click this thing here to close everything up. So now we're going to be testing the tolerance group for the GL account document posting. So in this main menu, we're going to go to accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, and enter GL account document, which is the first option for us. So what is the transaction code to enter for to enter general ledger accounting posting document? I think it's asking for general. What's it asking for? Code to enter a general ledger. For the general ledger. There's general posting there. Oh, here we go. To enter general posting for ledger group. No. I'm not sure what it's asking. What is a transaction code to enter a general ledger account posting? That's for a group. I'm not sure what it's asking for, but it should be one of these company codes. I'm not sure which one it's asking for. Anyway, so now that we are in the enter GL account document right here, we're going to double click to enter that document. Remember, confirm your company code by checking the top of the screen. Yep, we have our company code here. So after we entered the GL account document company code with our company code screens, which we are in, enter the following information. So again, current date, click the side right there. Current date should already be highlighted. Double click on it. And now it looks like we're posting some or testing the tolerance of it. So let's go ahead and find our bank account for the GL account. So search, start search. And now we are looking for bank account right here, bank account. And there's going to be we're going to be debiting our bank account for a price of this much. Which is this, 5 million. Make sure that if you do copy and paste, don't copy and paste the dollar sign. The dollar sign, this is for numbers only. You can't put any symbols in here. If you put symbols in here, it's not gonna let you do that copy and paste. So, and now we're gonna find our common stock for our next GL account. Common stock, there it is, common stock. Now we're going to credit that common stock for the same amount. And again, this is just asking when you search, just make sure that your GL account is there. So when looking for a company code, okay, so that's just explaining. So once we have this information, it says hit enter. All right. And we did, and we got an error, and it says you will receive an error message that says you may only post documents up to $500,000. Yes, which is the limits that we placed when we were creating these accounts earlier, which makes sense. And now we have to adjust the amount. Adjust the amount for both the bank account and the common stock for 500,000. Again, when you're going to copy and paste, um, don't copy and paste the dollar sign because it won't work. Double click to select that. So I changed it to 500,000 for each. And then we're going to click post. It did not get anything down here. Well, I think it went through because I do have this information here. I want to say it did go through, but I should have got a document number. Let me try again. Post. There we go. So it didn't go through earlier. So if it does go through, it's gonna it'll disappear. So it went through now. So remember the first document that we had was 0. The second one, was this our third? Or maybe I sent it through twice. First one was 0. Second one was 1. I wonder if I sent it through twice. I'm not sure. I think it should be okay. Either way, we got the document number. Why is it that you were not able to post a document greater than 500,000? Remember, we input limits. And how is this helpful to professionals in the future? We can ensure that large quantities aren't charged to the account. So, or we can have even put that if we want larger amounts to be debited or credited to the account, we need a manager's approval. So it keeps has that level of I guess safety for the company. Okay, so now we need to view balances. So let's go back to the main menu. It's giving me errors. I'm just going to open a new SAP, new GUI. I'm going to close this one. All right, now that we are here, we're going to follow this navigation path of your balances again. So accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, account, and display balances. What is the transaction code? I'll let you figure that out. And now we have in the GL account balance display, which is a screen we're in, find our bank account. I'm pretty sure that's our bank account, but let's double check. Yep, that's our bank account. All right, so bank account, company code, correct, and current year is correct. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit execute. And now we can see how much has been debited, how much has been credited, and our current balance. So what is the balance of your bank account? So our current balance you can see is here. Yours should be the same as well. So this makes sense because the first transaction that we did, I think, was 60,000, followed by the $200 credit, followed by the 500,000. So 500,000 was credited or debited, and 200 was credited. And this is our, yeah, so the first document was 0, the second one was 1, and then the third one was 2. Okay, so we didn't do it extra times earlier. Yeah, so we did 3 transactions. And yeah, so here's our final balance. So with that, that ends this chapter 2, part 2 walkthrough. I hope you found that helpful. And now all you have to do is complete your quiz. And if you wrote your answers in this document, that's perfect. And you can kind of just go through this document and answer those questions. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in.